one of the scariest movies, and not because of like what they showed on screen, even though it is pretty scary watching it, the Blair Witch Project. So the whole thing was improvised. There was no script. There was a casting call with 2,000 people. 3 random people got picked, and for the rest of the film they used their actual names.
For real?
Yeah, so the reason why the directors wanted it to be as authentic as possible. It wasn't them acting. The actors were just gonna be put in the woods for 8 days and be by themselves. It was so real to the point that Heather, which was one of the characters, so it was Heather, Mike, and Josh, they thought that they were gonna end up being in a snuff movie. They didn't know any of the scenes that were gonna happen. They were just told a couple instructions, giving a cure package every single day. Another thing that added to it was that they were slowly giving less things.
Were they being monitored?
Yes, people were watching them, bro, but
okay, I was just making
sure.
But
they weren't in the scene where the actors hear children laughing in the woods. They didn't know that was gonna happen, so they were actually scared. And they also didn't know that the Blair Witch was just a made-up thing. They went to a town,
okay,
and they had told them that it was a real town, but it was actors and stuff. And then the production team shook their tent, and they run out of the tent barefoot. They were literally terrified. And what they were supposed to do is that whenever one of the characters said, "What the fuck is that?" they were supposed to turn to a person dressed in white, like cloak. It was gonna be the Blair Witch, but they were too scared that they didn't end up doing what they were supposed to do, and you basically never see the Blair Witch in the movie.
Not gonna lie, that's low-key like a good method to a movie, bro.
So there is a famous conspiracy that Blair Witch Project was actually based on real events, but no, it isn't true. So the filmmaker basically wanted it to be like a snuff movie to add realism.
The Book of Enoch might be telling the truth. Now, we have been told that the Book of Enoch was taken out in the 4th century because it wasn't accurate to the original scriptures. But what if that wasn't the case? What if it was because it told the truth about humanity? Well, you see, it's described in the book about how a group of angels known as the Watchers started rebelling against God and began teaching humans things that they weren't supposed to know, like astrology and creating weapons of mass destruction. Not only did they do that, but they began laying with human women, which resulted in the birth of the Nephilims. Some argue that the book was false, but with the accounts of the way the world was shaped, the sun and the moon, and even the current location of the Watcher angels.
Well, the Book of Enoch is a Jewish book, and it has nothing to do with the Jewish scriptures or the Christian scriptures, like the Holy Bible or the Jewish Bible, right? And many of the historians believe that it has nothing to do with history. It is all just based on mythology.
Take a look at this picture. Tell me, does it look normal to you? Does it look like just 2 boys at a party, taking a quick picture, probably drunk? Now what if I told you that the boy on the right had murdered both his parents before taking that picture and proceeded to have a party with their dead bodies in the house? Tyler Hadley had a lot of mental issues. He had depression, anxiety, and so many more. He was drinking by age 12, smoking pot by age 15, taking ecstasy, Xanax, all that type of stuff at age 16. So he was a mentally troubled kid. The week before the party, he had been telling his friends that he was throwing a party, and no one would believe him because his parents had become very strict with him. The night before, when his friends asked if the party was still on, he said, quote unquote, "I'm working on it." He receives a message from his friend asking him if his parents were home. Now this is where he starts giving sketchy answers. Are your parents home? No, they're leaving soon. Party at my house? Maybe. Where are your parents? Oh, some other state. Now around 60 people showed up to his party. At some point he gets really drunk and tells his friend Mike, who's in the picture, that he killed his parents. Mike doesn't believe him though. Slowly he gets more and more paranoid and takes Mike out and is like, dude, I killed my parents. Because Mike doesn't believe him, he takes him to show him proof that he had murdered his parents. Bloody footprints, the weapon, all that type of stuff. Now somehow word started going around and Tyler was arrested the next morning. In 2014, he was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. But in 2018, they resentenced him and gave him a chance of parole. But to this day, he is still in prison. And in 2015, the house was demolished, and obviously the parents were buried.
So basically what happened was, Tyler killed both of his parents, then hid their bodies in the master bedroom. Then, on the same night, he threw a party. And during that party, a couple of his friends started noticing a strong odor, but no one knew what happened. But then, he confessed this to his friend Mike. And eventually, Mike called the police and they caught Tyler.
You ever heard the William Shakespeare theory?
Nah.
Never heard about that?
William Shakespeare?
Yeah, so here's a theory that William Shakespeare might be a time traveler or at least been reincarnated. So listen. Shakespeare looks exactly like Anne Hathaway's husband.
Anne Hathaway's husband? Why him?
Look, listen. So this is Shakespeare, and that's Anne Hathaway's husband, right?
Yeah.
Now, William Shakespeare's wife was named Anne Hathaway.
No, wait, nah. Yo. Nah, chill, bro.
Listen.
Chill.
So before William Shakespeare died, right? He had a famous line where he said, "I will find you, whether it be in this life or the next." Like, I'm gonna find you. So he ended up finding her again.
In the next life?
In the next life.
That's wild.
Yo, the fact that they look the same too, though, look at the eyes.
No, the eyes, like, even no, the fact that his wife's name was the exact same.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway.
That's what messes me up, bro.
Wonder if it went public about it.
That'd be a hard flex. You go back to find your shorty, you find her again.
That's a hard
flex. In like 2010, told you I was coming back.
Well, yes, it is true. William Shakespeare's wife was indeed Anne Hathaway. I mean, it is an uncanny resemblance, but time traveler, really?
Say it ain't so, did he say it ain't so?
Diddy has been making the rounds with however many ladies as he can, yet it hasn't halted the reports about his clashing sexuality.
Yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooshka skoosmash. You gave me the ooshka smooaf, the smooshmash. Diddy. Yeah, son. You know what I mean? You gave me the ooshka smooash.
Puff you doing? Puff is a sucker, man. Continuously called Puff gay. Does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said,
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow.
He says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity.
Another one people that spoke out on Puffy is all of a sudden having a strange reactions to their bodies.
Who was that?
Jamie Foxx. He's been talking bad about Puffy and Puffy parties, and then now he got silenced. Woo, that was a strange one to me. I could tell you 3 or 4 other instances with people that came up dead or messed up when they spoke on Puffy.
He says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. He says something fabulous and he goes, yo, no, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What are you talking about? When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. When you see Jadakiss put his head down, like, while we stuck here right now, and the cameras is rolling, everybody see, don't make like it's just me, man. Fluffy do some like, a little fluffy stuff now going on. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding. Let me get out. No, dude, you take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Well, the interesting part is this video was a year old, but with the recent arrest of Diddy, a whole lot of Hollywood celebrities are getting exposed.
You know, it's even more weird is if you take a picture of a $1 bill on the back.
It looks like an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you actually, well, you turn the contrast all the way up. And yeah, the contrast reveals an alien head and the face, the eyes, everything. It's kind of genius. What's in your pocket?
Yeah, Roswell.
Es un loro, es un loro. Está flotando en el aire. Está flotando en el aire, weón.
Un loro en el aire.
No sé si un loro o un pájaro está en el aire, está
Wait,
parado.
is the parrot stuck?
Chiquillo, weón. Esta weá está...
Glitch in the Matrix?
Soy yo, la Rocío, por si acaso, para que me vean. Vine a dejar a la Agustina al jardín. Y nos encontramos con esto. ¿Dónde está?
Look at the way it's floating.
Es un loro, es un loro. Está flotando en el aire, weón.